Modern Warfare is the fourth installment in the Modern Warfare series, kind of, a bit like, it's the fourth one technically, but you got remastered, and it's sort of not in the same world as the other ones. It's really confusing, and okay, we'll start again. Let's just roll the intro. Alright, Modern Warfare is out, and I was extremely excited to play it, I'm not gonna lie. The trailers looked amazing, the graphics looked great, even the beta was pretty fun, and lots of YouTubers are liking it as well, so everything looked great. But all of these YouTubers and media outlets that are praising the game, particularly the multiplayer, it's pretty clear that they haven't really played Call of Duty much before, because there are so many frustrating things in this game that just don't belong in a Call of Duty. So initially I wanted to do a review on the game, but this is sort of just going to turn into a rant because I've got to let my anger out some way, but I'm not going to completely trash the game because I do love Call of Duty. I've played it for 10 years, and I just want to let you guys know what's going on before you rush into buying it if you haven't already. And my main problems with the game lie in the multiplayer, so we will touch on that because I do have a lot to say about that. But just before we do that, I want to talk about the campaign, because this campaign is amazing, and I don't want to let the issues with the game take away from what is probably the best Call of Duty campaign we've ever seen. Without going into any spoilers, from the very start of the game, you can tell that this is a completely different tone to the typical hero story that a Call of Duty campaign normally provides. It's dark, at times it's uncomfortable, and it's unfortunately a realistic representation of what's going on around the world. The pacing is also very well done. Some missions will have you in the heat of a massive battle, and you'll transition to a slower paced, more tactical sort of mission pretty seamlessly, and it feels really good. The graphics are fantastic as well, and if you're into single player games, even though the story is probably only around 5 to 6 hours long, it might be worth a purchase just for this alone. But if you're mainly a multiplayer sort of guy, I can't really recommend buying this game at all. And honestly, I don't even know where to start. There's so many things that really piss me off about this game, to be honest. And that's coming from someone who's pretty much played Call of Duty their whole life. This game, undoubtedly, in my opinion, has an identity crisis. It doesn't really know what it's trying to be. It's trying to be a mix of something like Call of Duty, of course, but something like Rainbow Six Siege in terms of the slower pace and the faster time to kill as well. But it also tries to be a game like Battlefield, with Ground War being 64 players, just like Battlefield. On top of that, it's using a name like Modern Warfare sort of just as nostalgia to try and sell copies of the game, and it doesn't feel like a Modern Warfare game at all. Now, there are some overarching issues that cover pretty much every game mode, but there's also specific problems with specific game modes. So I'll start with the general issues that I have with the game first, and then we'll move on to the specific modes. Now, I'm sure if you've watched any Modern Warfare videos so far since the game's come out, you've heard that camping is a massive issue, and it is. But there is a reason that camping is such a big issue. It doesn't just randomly happen. Ever since Modern Warfare 3, which was years ago, probably almost 7 years ago, kill streaks have been replaced with point streaks or score streaks, depending on the game. Because before this was introduced, Call of Duty was like it is in Modern Warfare. It was very campy, it was very slow, and you pretty much had to camp to do well. I feel like in Black Ops 4, which was of course the last Call of Duty game, we finally got to a point where the score streak system was pretty much perfected. And instead of bringing that system back, Infinity Ward has opted to go back to what was in the original Modern Warfare with just the kill streaks. So that's the main reason camping is a problem, but it also comes down to a few other issues as well. On top of the kill streaks, the time to kill is really quick. It's as quick as a game like Rainbow Six Siege. You add on top of that the mount features and peeking around corners that's new in this game as well, and it basically just turns into whoever sees the other person first is gonna win that gunfight. On top of that, another thing that's going to add to camping is the map layout. For pretty much every Call of Duty game, the maps have followed a 3-lane system, except for Ghosts, which a lot of people didn't like. And while people can get frustrated with the 3-lane system because it can be too predictable or something like that, it provides equality across the map, meaning no matter what side you spawn on, you're on somewhat of a level playing field to the other people on the other side of the map. It also means that the spawns will be somewhat predictable as well, meaning you're not just going to get shot in the back all the time, And it also helps with game modes like domination, so that the B flag, for example, can be in the middle of the map, like it's supposed to be. If you have a quick look at one of the maps in Modern Warfare, you're gonna get really confused as to what's what. And looking at this map here, I just have absolutely no clue what's going on. Both sides of the map are completely different. Who knows where the spawns are just looking at that? I don't know. And it just leads to games becoming an absolute mess. And I want to touch on the kill streaks again because I forgot to say something before. Score streaks aren't completely gone from the game. Okay, I lied. You can still use score streaks, but you have to unlock a perk. Yes, you have to unlock a perk to be able to get rewarded for actually playing the objective. Infinity Ward, what the actual fuck? On top of that, you don't even unlock this perk until like level 40 something. Like, what's going through your head, Infinity Ward? I don't know. You lock something that encourages you to play the objective till you're pretty much Prestige 1, yet you allow us to unlock Claymores at level 4, which encourage camping. What? Alright, let's get into some of the more specific game modes, and I want to talk about Gunfight first because this is one of the game modes I actually really love in this game. Gunfight is a pretty fast-paced 2v2 game where it's just elimination, first to 6 wins on a really small map. The game will give you a random loadout, and it's just whoever can kill the other teams first. It's tactical, and it's a lot of fun. I think this is a really good addition to the game, and honestly, I hope we see this moving forward. As for Ground War, which is of course the new 64-player mode in Modern Warfare, I can understand why a lot of people find this a lot of fun. A lot of people on a big map and just, you know, go have fun, go play with vehicles, do whatever you want. It's honestly, it's pretty cool. But as someone who's come from Battlefield as well for years, I've played Battlefield for 8 years as well, it just feels like a poor man's version of Battlefield. While it can be fun to snipe and, you know, hold down a position with lots of people, especially on some of the maps that have tall buildings, sniping isn't really balanced. For example, Battlefield has balanced sniping to a point where it's not overpowered and it doesn't just encourage everyone to snipe. The vehicle balance also probably needs a lot of work, as well as the fact that there's kill streaks in this, which sort of just make it, I don't know, kind of pointless to drive vehicles. I don't see the point in going and getting in a tank when I could just camp on a rooftop and get a chopper gunner, for example. If you had a big group of friends, this game mode would be amazing. I don't doubt that. But what I'm trying to say is it took Battlefield a long time to perfect that 64-player game mode, and it feels like Call of Duty is just years behind in getting it to a point where it can actually compete with Battlefield. Now look, that's pretty much everything negative I have to say about the multiplayer, and it's not all bad, okay? The gameplay is pretty fun, it feels smooth, and if the other issues weren't in the game, I would be praising this game for its innovation in gameplay because this feels completely different to previous Call of Duties. The sound is also amazing, other than the fact that you can hear your own teammates' footsteps, which doesn't make sense. But it just gets overshadowed by the so many issues in this game, and it's frustrating because this game had so much potential to be great, but it's just ruined by the issues. I also played some Spec Ops as well as some Survival, and both of them, I'm not gonna lie, they're not anything too special, but they are pretty fun to muck around with friends. But of course, that's not gonna sway your decision on whether you're gonna buy this game or not. That lies in the multiplayer. So honestly, man, I don't know where Call of Duty is gonna go from here. Next year, it's Sledgehammer Games making a Call of Duty, and they haven't really made an extremely impressive one yet. After that, it'll be Treyarch, which should be good, but it comes back to Infinity Ward the year after. And I just feel like Infinity Ward doesn't really know what to do next. This game is pretty much just a sequel to Call of Duty Ghosts in so many ways, with the map layout, the peeking around the corners, the campiness of the game. And it feels like they didn't really take any of the feedback they got from Call of Duty Ghosts and implement it into this game. It just doesn't. So for me, this game is a big disappointment. The campaign's amazing, but everything else is, yeah, it's just a letdown. So if you're on the fence about buying this game, I'll say this: if you have a lot of friends that are getting it, you may want to look at buying it. Even I have had, you know, a fair bit of fun in this game with some of my friends, and that's going to go up on the Brizzy Bros channel as well, so make sure to sub there if you haven't already. No matter how bad some games are, if you're playing them with friends, they can be a lot of fun. But if you're planning to get this game on your own, you're most likely just going to get frustrated, unless you love camping in that case, go have fun, I guess. But anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know, and I thought I'd get that out of my system. I've been holding that in for a while. So if you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. And consider subscribing for more videos like this one. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!